I'm here to do another predictions video. I want to first say that there's one bout that I'm just not interested in at all in, and that's the Carwin and Wayne bout. I'm not going to bother predicting that. Baron 16-2, he has 10 submissions. Jim Miller 11-1 has 8 submissions, so this is going to be a ground match, which is always quite exciting. I think I'm going to go with Baron for this one, just because I think his record of wins is slightly better. Slightly more. Yeah, so I'm going to go for him. I'm going to go by submission, obviously. I shall say that it's going to be some sort of chokehold, I think. No. Stout and Terry Eatim is going to be probably the reverse. It's going to be a stand-up war. My one worry with this is whether Eatim is sort of experienced enough. I'm going to go for TKO. Oh, by the way, I'll put this at the choke in the second round of the first one. So Stout and Eatim, I'm going to go for TKO. I'm going to go for it in the first. So it's probably going to be over quite quickly. Now I'm going to go for Stout on that. Okay. Dan Hardy, 19-6, with 10 TKO wins, including one over Chad Rayner, is going up against Akihiro Gono, 28-12 and 7. He has 7 TKO wins, 14 decisions and 6 submissions, so he favours decision, but Hardy favours TKO. I think I'm going to go for this one as the upset of the evening. I'm going to say that Hardy wins this by TKO in the third. Per Eklund, 13-3 and 1, with 6 submissions, but he's never been submitted himself. And losses to people like Kawajiri and Sam Stout, who's also on the card. See what I mean about it being quite a close circuit, isn't it, here? And Chivio, 10-5, wins and loses by submission. So, this is my thing. I would go for Chivio in this. The reason I'm not going to go for him is because he also loses by submission, and in order to Per Eklund usually wins by submission, but he hasn't been subbed. So in order for Chivio to win, he's actually not only got to be good at submissions, but he's also got to give somebody their first submission loss, and I don't think that's going to happen. I'll go for submission, a bar of some sort, and I'll go for it in the second round. Right, Kelly and Marcus Davis. Davis is an MFS associate. He has losses to Tiago Alves, Mike Swick and Melvin Guillard. Record is 14-4. His wins are mostly by TKO and his losses are mostly by submission. Kelly is Wolf Slayer, 7-0, and he's capable of winning by all manners. It just so happens that Marcus Davis has actually beat Jess Leodon, who is also on this card. So yeah. See, I don't really know who to go for on this one. Oh, I'm tempted to go for Marcus Davis, and I think I'll go for submission again. Sort of chokehold. And I'll put this in round 1. I don't think that Kelly, with his 7-0 record, is going to go much further than that, to be totally honest. Paul Taylor and Chris Little. It's going to be Chris that wins by submission. Of some sort. But I actually do like Paul Taylor from the interviews that I've seen. He was sort of saying how it was rather like Chris Little would be a very good sort of test for him to know exactly sort of how he was as a fighter, what to improve and what to where his strengths are. As it happens, he is the guy, Paul Taylor, who beat Jess Leardon last time in London, UFC 85, with a split decision. Now, I've looked on the record, and this is his second victory over Jess Leardon. The first one was at Cage Rage number 2, so quite some time ago. That's interesting. Yes. Right. Lewis Arthur Kane and Romeo, whatever his name is. I'm going to go for the guy who fights out of Quest with wins over Nogueira, to be honest with you. I think I'll go for him by KO. I'll put that in the first as well. There we are. Even though I have to say that Lewis Arthur Kane has 7 TKO victories and a win over Lambert, I just don't think that's going to save him. Keith Jardine and Brandon Vera. I'm going for Brandon Vera on this by TKO. Oh, could be as late as the third, I think. I'm going for Brandon Vera. Did meet him from afar down at UFC 85. I think he's had a bit of a rough time of it, to be honest, recently, and I hope this starts a sort of climb back up. Michael Bisping and Chris Lieben. I'm going for Chris Lieben on this. I think I'd like a KO late in the first round. That would just be fantastic. You know, there we are. The problem with Michael Bisping on this is that I think his only way of beating Chris Lieben is to take it to decision, to win by decision. I don't think he will KO him. I don't think he will TKO him. He's certainly not going to submit him. So what's he going to do? Well, the only way he can win is by decision, and I hope that Chris Lieben has something within him that will allow him to finish within 3 rounds. Jess Leardon is 12-10. Fantastic. Do like Jess. He's got 8 submission victories, but he's also lost by TKO 6 times. Unknowingly, kind of followed Jess around a bit. The first mixed martial arts event I went to was UFC 70, and that was where I saw him win in Manchester. I also saw him again at UFC 85 down in London this last June. So I've actually seen him fight a number of times and win and lose. I recognise the fact that he is at that point where he's had like 2 losses in a row, and if he gets 3 losses in a row, we don't know what the UFC might do. Therefore, I'm rather hoping naturally that he wins. Unfortunately, I can't go to Birmingham this weekend, so I'm not going to be able to see this in person like I would have sort of liked to, really. But there we are. So I'm rather hoping for a TKO victory, but I will settle for just a win. I know that Jess has trained quite hard for this, because he has been away training in the US for a number of weeks, actually. So I hope that has paid off, and I look forward to being right on my prediction that he wins by whatever. I don't care, as long as he wins.